Howdy-yo, everyone! Velocity here, back in action for more. Going to go see Papa Attraction, that's right. We're in Wyndia, and that means that Princess Nina has the chance to look around and see what we can find out about the Wind Dragon and stuff. Of course, we could go off exploring just a little bit more before we head off to see Papa. Nothing to report! Good for you, I guess, but what else is going on? This is the dungeon. There is not much of interest here to see. What about the dragon? Is there a dragon there? I bet there's a dragon. What is this? Hello? Strategy sessions were held every day here during the war. I'm just glad the war's over with. Hope we never have another one. Okay, but there's a palm tree. Neat. Huh. Interesting. Little piano, whatnot. Piece. Through here. Okay, so that's where that was. Got it. Hello? It's Princess Nina? Go on in, Princess. You could see the king anytime. Oh? Oh, so sweet. I didn't know what to think when I received word from Wyndia that you'd been captured. What was I supposed to think? My daughter goes out in search of her missing sister, only to be caught trespassing in enemy territory? How did this happen? I beg your forgiveness, Majesty. It's all my fault. It hadn't been for me. Enough. What's done is done. Regardless of what happened, I owe you my thanks, Chief Cray. As you have probably discovered for yourself, our neighbor and supposed ally, Wyndia, is more worried about their relations with the Empire than in helping me search for my daughter. However, in spite of all obstacles, not the least of which being your responsibilities as leader of the warring nation, you chose to search for her yourself. Not many other men could do what you did. So what do you intend to do now? Sooner or later, the Ludians are bound to discover you are here. We will of course do everything we can to protect you. Father, there's something we'd like to do while there's still time, before the Ludians come. We want to meet with the Wind Dragon. We have questions that only he can answer. Wrong. The Wind Dragon? The patron god and protector of our people? Oh. Neat. Yes. We need to speak with Roygan. Only he could tell us what we need to know about the dragons. I see, but even though I am king of Wyndia, I have no control over the dragon. You know that. We believe that if the dragon can tell us what the Empire is searching for, then we might be able to think of some way to stop them. I see. Very well. Go to the woods east of here. There you will find the Oracle of Wind, a priestess who serves the Wind Dragon. I shall inform her you are coming. Rest tonight. You can begin your journey in the morning. Yippee! Rest, 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 rest. Oracle lives in the forest to the east of Wyndia. Don't worry, the Lillians inquire about you. You will think of something to distract them. The king has been put into a most difficult position. On the one hand, he has to protect his daughter, Princess Nina. On the other, he has to maintain our relations with Wyndia. Alright, fair enough. All that together. I think this is an easy way to get out. If not, you know? Princess Lena is engaged to marry the Prince of Ludia. Princess Nina is next in line to the throne. Which should I choose? A love that is wrong, or a love that cannot be? Alright, but whatever. Okay, we already know where that goes off to. But I guess we'll just go up from here. And go through this way. Oh, there's other doors? Hello, other doors. Soul Gem. That seems like an actual good thing. Does this mean Princess Lena isn't coming back? Wisdom fruit. We're getting a lot of good in this here. Wowzers, powzers. So those were the two daughters. Okay. Fair enough, maybe. Go down this way. You should be able to just reach the area. The dragon looks really cool. Like, wow. That's about it, really. We could just head off. Jeez. So I am talking to a younger generation than I am used to, because I joined a new Discord server. As is the case sometimes, you just kind of enter in that. But... Help us! Oh? Use your gun or sword to hunt the animals. Trying to kill them in one hit, but when an animal runs around, it lowers the quality of the meat. Okay. What did we do with that? What? Okay. Okay. That's what I gotta do. Okay, come on. Get there. Thank you. 1 ribs. Do you want to get to the food? Yeah, let's get the food to the fairies. Go and keep going. As I was saying before, I am talking to people younger than me, for sure. Literally just post a little meme about like, oh, don't remind me about you being born after 9/11, and they're just kind of like being ham on this, and I'm just like, oh, I did this to myself. I straight up did this to myself. It is one of those things where, like, I didn't know. I didn't know that I was just gonna be talking to youngins all the time. It happens sometimes, though. Gaming spaces just kind of do that. But it is what it is. Trying to be extra careful to make sure that everything's sold nice and dandy, too. So, no Minecraft allegations here, so to speak. But get over here. I keep, like, not getting it, and it makes me so annoyed on that. Thankfully we're not running into, like, actual battles or whatever. On. There we go. We need to hit it, like, 3 different times. That's next last. There we go. A roast. Okay. Down here. A roast again. Yippee! What else we got? Got like one more little guy. Happens to be the hardest one to get. Where you at? There you are. One more? Oh, disappeared. You weren't able to get it? Or maybe it transformed. Maybe it transformed. No. Let's talk to the fairy, see what we got. Thank you so much for helping us. Hunting's really scary. Sometimes the animals we're hunting come after us. Oh my gosh, those poor fairies. No, because it's asking me. Maybe there's another animal here. I heard to do a quick double check. I was about to, like, attack her. Oh, looks like we're good. I'm gonna leave. There we go. Let's see. Oh, now these things look cool as heck. Oh my gosh, they're so cool looking. Oh my gosh, the way they look at everything. Last Resort. What is this, Pokemon? What? I don't like what they're trying to do here, which I assume is some sort of explosion technique. Take a lot of damage. Still at it. Wow. Really? There we go. So they're at least like roughly like 3,000. Ooh, let's go. And maybe a little bit under. Yippee! Okay. Got going on here. Anything over this way? I didn't think so. I was hoping for something, but I guess not. Cool. Want to go talk to them, see how they're doing. Figure it out. I'm getting hungry. I'm so hungry too. You have no idea, y'all. After this, I am going to go get myself fries and a sandwich. Because, yes, I deserve it. I deserve fries and a sandwich. Seriously, just, fries and a sandwich actually hit really good. It's kind of insane. Then again, I'll probably have to get something else because, like, how should I put this? When you become older, you can't process food sometimes, and when you have your gallstones removed, your gallbladder, your gallstones, it becomes harder to process it. If you have your gallbladder removed, even harder than that. And bacon is one of those things that just isn't a particularly good process. You know what a country loves to put bacon on their sandwiches? That's right, America. Ah, I don't believe it. Ain't a thing worth fishing in this river. Wanna go fishing too? And let me tell you about a real good fishing spot I know about. It's just outside this forest. Go and take a look. That will actually give us a little fishing spot, which is super duper cool. Love that. I guess we're going further in. Okay. Whatever you boys, get out of here. I don't need you around. My goodness. Not to beat this too much, admittedly enough, but recently I watched the King of the Hill season 15 of the revival stuff, and unlike Futurama's tittle tattle with Hulu, King of the Hill, fine wine. It's gonna age like fine wine. They did such an amazing job with the way that it portrays all its characters and the way that it developed everything and whatnot. And this season in particular does it to where they kind of go back to their roots while also glancing at a few things from the previous, like, past parts that we did not see. And I really, really like that in the sense that, like, it feels like we're not only getting continuity to things, but we're getting, like, a sense of, like, it's building to another thing for a new era of that particular show. And I always love it when TV shows have continuity. They don't need to have, like, absolute continuity, but I like it when status quos get changed up just enough to where, like, things are different and things change in a way that you're happy and excited for and whatnot. And that's not always the case with animated TV shows and sitcoms and whatnot, but they're in a good spot right now where they can kind of do that, and I really like that. And, like, the way they homage to all the characters, the way that they kind of, like, deal with how they would react to certain things and whatnot, has made me really love this particular revival because it's probably the most justified of the bunch. And I do mean that in the sense that, like, King of the Hill has always prided itself off of not necessarily not being political, but being able to be neutral on the political spectrum, which is not centrist, despite what centrists will tell you. That's not what that is. It is very much the case of... Yes, I'm aware. It is very much the case of, like, it's able to look at both sides of it and just kind of come with a good terms of, like, how people will find this asinine, or how people would are a little bit too sticklers for certain things and whatnot. And they actually did, and I kid y'all not, a transgender episode, a mild one. It was a B plot about a chicken turning into a rooster, which is something that can happen in nature. It is very something that can happen. And people were talking about, like, oh, like, they made it woke and whatnot. Not people outside, although I'm sure people have been doing that on the outside too. I just haven't seen the clickbait videos and whatnot yet. But in the sense that, like, do we have to keep rolling this? We might have to keep rolling. This might be a log puzzle. But they do it in a way that just, like, you can clearly tell the person that's having an issue is just kind of a bitch. Like, in the literal sense, because, like, what Hank does is Hank says, that's neat, to the reaction that the chicken turned into a rooster. He doesn't go on some sort of rant or whatever and whatnot. And that's the thing that gets me the most, is that, like, Hank Hill, over anything else, is about integrity. And, like, if you have integrity, you're on Hank's side, in terms of things. And that's something that a lot of the current political spectrum doesn't seem to understand when they pose the question if Hank Hill would vote for Trump. He wouldn't, by the way. Neither would Dale. Dale would not. Bill might. Bill might, and Peggy might. And I do mean that in the strictest sense of they might. I could see Bill getting hung over, turning into like the mania of it all and like getting friends and whatnot. But that didn't happen. It didn't show anything like that. Which is fine, because, like, honestly, I don't really see them being too politically divisive or even getting into it in a way that, like, affects their friendship and whatnot. And I mean that in the most literal sense of it probably would not affect their friendship. Okay, so we can do this. So we do that there. Won't get anything. Okay. I'll have to figure out how to move the other logs then. Whatever. But yeah, it's just a really neato petito thing that happens with the little thing and just makes me really happy. It's like, how do I put this? Because I don't want to say like they made sure to make not hate King of the Hill political, because it very much is. Everything you watch is fucking political. Surprised I'm nuts. the politic came with your resistance to your creativity and your values in which you instill upon anything you create. You idiot. Even this, even watching this LP is a political statement to some degree. It's not something that I want to like be like, oh, this, and that, another. It's kind of like, I want you to be aware that it's the case, but I also genuinely do not care if you're not here for the politics. I wasn't trying to plan to talk about politics aside from the fact that King of the Hill did a good job. And I think that's something that it would really help with more conservative folks that are not quite on the cult train, as it were. And how do I put this? Because I'm trying to put this in a way that, like, I understand to a degree why conservative people are the way they are. And I'm not necessarily against talking to any of them or doing any of this or that. Would I call them friends? I don't know. This is a little hard to differentiate and whatnot. This is more of a... I have not met a conservative that I can be friends with yet. I think that's the best way I could put it. Is it possible? Sure. Wouldn't doubt it. Not a bit. But a lot of people that are conservative nowadays aren't really conservative. They're not about, like, the taxes being, like, less taxable. They're more about really weird issues that the Republicans fought against, like political freedoms against the state doing anything to hinder things and whatnot. And that's, like, very much a stance they had beforehand, where just, like, the states to decide anything and everything. It's weird to me, but suffice to say, King Hill does a great job. Even the voice actors that haven't been doing so well in the first season have been doing spectacular, there you go, in this season. And just like, oh my gosh. The only thing that hurts it, and generally I'm really sad about this, is the fact that it's like 13 episodes and not like 23 like it should be. But that's just a problem with streaming in general, and I think a lot of these streaming networks don't seem to understand that you do need to have a higher episode count in order for things to run the way they do. And what makes me more annoyed about it is that, like, they could just go by the syndication rule and sell their assets to, like, a network. Okay, so that's gonna hurt me. Got it. Interesting note. And that's the thing that, like, I wish, like, in terms of, like, doing the business with these particular spots and whatnot, I feel like I would do better than the general network Netflix executive would. I understand how to make a, like, successful show. I know how to understand how to leave production in place. Generally speaking, if you give an ambitious filmmaker, like, enough money, and I mean enough money, we're talking, like, if they ask for a certain amount, maybe give them a little more than that, or set aside a little more than that, and be like, this is all you can have. Like, if you expect above budget, we'll give you a little bit more, and that's it. That's what I would effectively do. And you do it because limitation helps create freedom on top of, like, limitation creates creativity, and that creativity can really help make certain movies and whatnot work in particular. As for TV shows, surprise, surprise, very much the opposite. You kind of do need to have a standard budget that a usual show would have, but in the sense that, like, you have to let the show run, and that's just the sad truth. You have to let the show run, and you might, like, lose a lot of money depending on the show, but you can't do one season of, like, a sitcom or various things like that because you have to let it ride. You have to let characters develop and whatnot. If you don't let the characters develop, then they don't have the chance to make the audience care more than they should, because Netflix has gotten so bad with the season 1 illness that they keep doing. People just aren't invested. They're like, what's the point? We're not going to see him again and whatnot. And what makes me more annoyed about this is that the main thing that drew me to anime was the fact that it ended, that it had an ending. And in that regard, I feel like a lot of these shows just aren't doing what they should do. They should be having it to where it's a closed arc of just, like, one thing happening in particular and whatnot. Especially for, like dramedies and whatnot, and various things like that. Like, The Bear, I think, should have been, like, a 3-season thing. It being 5 seasons hurt it a lot. I mean, a lot. Like, if you just gave them, I want to say, 3 more episodes a season, on top of, like, telling them you need to, like, finish it up in 3 seasons, I think would have worked wonders for that show. Because there is a certain amount of mondating that needs to happen. Jump under here. Okay, cool. Awesome. But it's one of those things where, like, yeah, you kind of also need to do that. You need to have the show breathe a little bit. And they're not letting shows breathe anymore. And it bothers me so much as someone that avidly watches a lot of shows and TV and whatnot. And I can think of no other show that needed to breathe more than Reba. Reba starts out with, like, a wide cast of characters, with the family being 3 kids, them having a new kid along with one of the kids as they get married, and it just kind of being a very dysfunctional family with a divorced family, along with the fact that, like, the new husband has remarried and such. Reba's really weird because, like, it's kind of like Reba gets cucked, and that's, like, the whole entire premise of the sitcom. And, like, to me, I'm just like, who the fuck's gonna cuck Reba? Like, who? Look at her! You know? Like, she's hot. Like, I don't know. Back in my heyday, I'm just saying. I could not imagine not wanting to be with that woman. Mm-mm. I am the Oracle of Wind. I hear the voice of the dragon. Rigon. As it is carried on the wind. You have a magnificent dragon's eye. Although it is rare to see someone with only one. You mean Ryu is a dragon? Not all those who have the dragon's eye are dragons. Still, this one has about him a powerful aura. I feel he is close to Ringel. Once a long time ago, Ringel told me of a dragon that appears only once in hundreds of years. A dragon called the Yorai dragon. The dragon of the future. It is said that this Yorai dragon will have a great effect upon the world and those living in it. That he will bring great joy or terrible destruction. So that's what the Empire's after. You must want the Yorai dragon's power for themselves. I have told you all I know. The rest you must ask Punyon Regon. yourselves. You must search below Castle Wyndia and find the wind flute. With it, you'll be able to enter the Tower of Wind. Okay. Thank you for that. Ooh, a flat top. Neat. You must search below Castle Wyndia. Find the wind fruit. The wind flute. Okay. So can I leave around here then? Question mark? Let's see. First we have to go below Castle Windy and find the wind flute. Then use it to get into the Tower of Wind. Right? That's right! There's a device in the Tower of Wind that will take us far above the earth. If we use it, we should be able to meet Wyndia. Wait a minute, where's Sisyphus? He has been paid by the Wyndia to watch over us. He's probably gone to tell them what we're up to. What? But I thought... Looks like we'd better hurry. Man, I was using him so good at everything. So we got a nice fishing spot here. And I'm guessing this is the Oracle? And then, is that like the wind tower over there? Top, yeah. Okay, next time, folks, we're gonna figure out what exactly to do here, with the wind. And that's Theseus. I just know he's going to tell his Wyndia masters what we're doing. The wind flute is like a key needed to enter the Tower of Wind. It is a treasure that has been passed down through many generations of the Wyndia royal family. I am told that it is a sign of the times, that strange dragons such as you are appearing. But I must confess, I do not understand what that means. Fair enough, my guy. Well, that being said, y'all, we did everything that we can for today. So, like, comment, subscribe if you can, and I'll see you all next time, okay? Sayonara. Bye-bye.